What's going on, guys? As well as the football channel, I have a gaming channel called Red Wolves Gaming. If you guys want to follow the social media on that, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I really do appreciate it. From PC games, Xbox, PS4 in the near future, come join the fun. I'll see you guys later. What's going on, guys? Boy Joey 672 coming to you guys with a video right now. So I want to go over free agency. I want to go over a target and free agency. I know this is kind of not really worn out, but I know people have already talked about it, but I kind of just want to, kind of talk about it myself. And that is acquiring wide receiver Robby Anderson. Okay, now there's a lot of X factors towards this because I think if the Eagles do go after a free agent wide receiver, it's because that Alshon Jeffrey is not going to be here. And I think the big X factor to this whole thing is that Alshon Jeffrey just can't be here because you're not going to have Alshon, have Deshaun, and then get Robby Anderson in free agency, or you're going to go in the draft and go draft somebody as well in the first round, which, the Eagles can't draft someone in the first round and sit them on the bench. It just can't happen. Okay, so Robby Anderson intrigues me. He does. He had his 11-11 tweet, if you guys saw that a couple weeks back. I'm seeing 11-11 right now or something like that. I'm seeing a lot of 11-11, whatever he said. People are thinking Carson Wentz or whatever. Whatever it is. It doesn't mean anything to me. But, guys like to flirt, when they go into free agency with everybody. So you never really know. Obviously, he's looking for a good situation. Obviously, he's looking for a team that, is in need of his services and can really take the top off an offense. And I understand, a defense. I understand that we have Deshaun Jackson. But I think the X factor to this whole thing is if Alshon Jeffrey is gone, okay? I'm kind of way past it. We all know that Nelson Agholor is gone. He's just too inconsistent every year. You can't have 2 bad years, 1 good year, an okay year in 18, a bad year in 19. It's just too inconsistent with him, so he will be gone. Alshon Jeffrey is just hurt. He got hurt, 3 times this past year? It's just absolutely amazing. And Alshon Jeffrey is not going to come back until he's not going to be ready to play until week 1 of the season. I'm not talking about he's going to be back the last week of training camp. I'm not talking about he's going to be the last preseason game back. I'm not talking about he's literally going to be back probably 2-3 days before our first game. And that's what we have to go on. So, Howie Roseman was like, oh, I love Alshon Jeffrey and blah, 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 blah. Alshon Jeffrey did what he had to do for us. That was an exciting signing. He came here for fucking nothing in the beginning because he wanted to play with Carson Wentz. He wanted to make him an MVP, and we won a Super Bowl because of it. He made one of the best catches, in the Super Bowl that I've ever seen. Okay. The X factor, for the 10th millionth time, is if Alshon Jeffrey's here, he's gone. Because just say you trade him, and people are going to say, well, you can't trade him. He's going to be $26 million in dead cap space. But at the same time, that doesn't matter. How many players get paid, and then 1 or 2 years teams ship their players out. Don't matter if it's a big contract or not. You can always call a team up and say if there is a team interested in Alshon Jeffrey, you kind of got to help them out, but you have to help yourselves out. The Eagles need to help themselves out. So if you have to get a little bit of a mid-round pick for him, you're going to have to swallow the bullet and take a mid-round pick, and then you could work on, hey, look, so-and-so, if you want Alshon Jeffrey, we're going to pay 2/4 of his contract. You pay the other half of his contract for this year, and we'll be good. So they could do something like that in a trade, and that could happen. I don't think the Eagles will flat out release him. That would just be stupid. I think you can get something out of him. I think he's on the block, but unfortunately he has a huge price tag on him this year because most of his money is guaranteed. If you guys remember last year, Alshon Jeffrey took a pay cut. Okay, it freed up some cap space, some wiggle room, some maneuvering, and unfortunately now we're kind of stuck with this contract, and we need to. I think we just need to get rid of it. Honestly, I think we need to pay a little bit of it. The other team needs to, make it cheap for the other team, make it cheap for us to pay for this year, and both sides go home happy. You get rid of Alshon Jeffrey, you can get Robby Anderson in the building. Okay, and there was 2 games that Robby Anderson had this year which looked really good. Robby Anderson looked fantastic because he was actually doing route combinations. He was actually just not running straight up the field, which is a good thing, because he he's a deep threat, but at the same time, you can use him in other ways in open space, and the Jets didn't do that, but they did it in 2 games, and he looked really good. Sorry, I'm still sick, guys. So at this point, you're going to go into the draft, and the Eagles. It just seems like the Eagles are going to draft a receiver in the first round. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to fall to us. And we're going to take it. We're going to move up probably a few spots. Usually Howie moves up at least in the first round for a little bit. He'll move up from 21 to go get his guy. You never know what can really happen. But, if Alshon Jeffrey is gone, you could sign Robby Anderson, and then you can go get, draft somebody in the first round, whether it's, CD, which probably not, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, all these other guys, T. Higgins. You never know what you're going to get. So you draft somebody, they start day 1. There's no putting them on the shelf, none of that bullshit, because we're already hurting J.J. Arcega-Whiteside by putting him on the shelf. And the Eagles made a lot of mistakes. And, we're going to have some depth behind receiver this year. I'm glad we got Shelton Gibson. Hopefully he's back on this roster, or he's back at least. He's with us during training camp and stuff like that. Just for someone with some speed behind Deshaun, God forbid. And if we do sign Robby Anderson, hey, I'll be happy about it. I'm not like, oh my God, goo goo gaga over him like he's the best player in the world. But I think with the weapons that we do have right now, a really good backfield, Boston Scott, Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, if he's still here, probably not. A top 3 offensive line in the league. Andre Dillard starts at left tackle, you know what I mean? And we get this thing rolling, with these receivers, and then Carson Wentz have a weapon of his own, extending plays and doing some great things, and he's actually going to have hopefully a healthy wide receiver core this year and not lose everybody like he did this year. So I think that's what has to happen. I think that's what I want to happen, because Alshon Jeffrey's not going to be back till literally a day before the game. Till that week, he's going to get cleared to play. And we have to risk keeping him here, not only paying him that much money, but at the same time, we have to worry about him getting hurt. He got hurt, 3 times this past year? It's just insane. So, other than that, guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about, Robby Anderson. Should we trade Alshon? Give me your thoughts on that. And we'll see what happens. So, I will see you guys later. Shake Squad up, file slide.